Right, Wayne, here's your challenge for today. Okay. So, you have to put together a kids show act for, should we be nice, Emma? 150?
Yeah.
Right, so you got 150 and 5 minutes?
Yep.
Right, you got 5 minutes. I'm going to give you the microphone. You've got 5 minutes to go around the shop and get enough. On your marks, get set, go! So, have you got all of your items together?
So I have. I'm not 100% sure on the prices and all this, so we're going to have to go through them. I think I've got a fair idea on some of them, but yeah, this is pretty much what I would go together. There's actually one more thing I would go for, but I couldn't see it on the shelf, but I know there is one here. So for now, I'm going to take one of these ones, which is a smaller version of it. I know somewhere around here, probably in one of the cupboards, there is a bigger version, but I can't see it in front of me at the moment. So yeah, this is what I would say if I needed a kid show very quickly. This is one that I think would work really, really well. So there we go. Shall we have a look at what's in the goodie box?
Yes, go for it.
So first of all,
talk to us about why you structured it that way. So where would you put it in your act as well?
Okay, so let's go through it in order then. So the first thing is a colouring book. Now this is a miniature colouring book. The one that I would choose here is a bigger size, A4 size. I think it's actually in the cupboard behind you, but that's fine. We don't really need to get it out. It's pretty much every magic shop will have a magic colouring book. This again is just the small version. The bigger version is more suitable. What I have to think about and consider is that with a children's show, most children's shows, especially nowadays, they invite the whole class. So I'm looking at an audience of about 30 to 35 kids. So everything I do has to be big, showy, flashy, and you know, be big enough for everyone to see. This is going to be too small for a big group. If I was doing for a small party of 5-10 kids, maybe a small version, but for a bigger party I need the bigger version of it. So the colouring book would be the first thing that I would put in. This is a great thing. It's a great opener. I can get the birthday child or one of the children up to help me, and we can go through multiple different phases of performing it. You start off with it blank, then get line drawings, then it gets coloured in, and the magic builds and builds, lots of excitement builds. So as an opener, to get them all screaming abracadabra or alakazam or bibbidi bobbidi boo or whatever you want to use, this is a great opener and something that I've opened my kids show with for the last 30 odd years. So yeah, colouring book would be first. After that, I want to add a bit more substance to what I'm doing. And I also want to keep it nice and visual. I've got 2 of these. Let me put this one back. So I would choose something that's got a bit more, a bit more substance, but also something that I can get a lot of fun out of. So I would go for probably like the Pro Duck, the Dippy Duck. This introduces a bigger prop, and it introduces a bit more interaction. Now, I didn't get a chance though because I was running around quickly, but there are over here, if we just bring the camera over here, we've got loads of decks of cards here. Most magic shops will have loads of decks of cards. Alakazam is of course leading the way here. We've got loads of different stars, and I would probably go, if I had to buy one for a children's show, maybe the Alice in Wonderland cards, or I'd go for the Willy Wonka cards, or the Harry Potter cards, or something that the kids would. I don't want them to just to be a pack of cards. I want it to be something that the kids can look at and go, oh, that's something we know. I'm not going to be doing some 48 phase ambitious card routine with it. It's going to be quick and flashy, and I want it to be nice and showy. The other option I would do with this is I would have buy a blank face deck of cards to go with it, and then I would get the child helping, or the birthday child, to write their name on it and put it into the blank deck, and then have the duck find their card. So I'd use a blank face deck of cards, and I would do it that way. And I could even get a couple of kids colouring in or making pictures, etc., while I'm setting it all up, and use it there. So that would be my second effect of it. It's a good thing. It's nice and big. It looks great. It's a big showy prop. Lots of comedy. I can get a lot of gags out of this as well, with the rabbit not, with the duck not getting the card. You know, think about your card, boom, it's blank. You're not thinking hard enough, boom, blank. You're not thinking, you know, boom, and then there's their card. I can add all the old gags and a few new ones as well into it to make it a bit more fun and engaging. So yeah, so we go colouring book, and then we go for the duck. We need to check the price on that one. I didn't see the price on that one. Now for the next trick, I want to do something. So I've done now something for the whole group and something that's got 1 or 2 children involved in what's going on. So for the next trick, I want to do something that's going to get the whole audience involved. One thing that's really important to me when I do a kids show is that nobody is left feeling like they weren't part of the show. So I don't really use magic wands in my act. I have one wand that I bring out at the beginning, but everyone wiggles their fingers. That way everybody is part of what's going on. So the next trick I'm going to do, I'm going to want everyone to be part of. So I have chosen the Silks Off hanger. Now this is a lovely effect. And to be honest with you, this is not only something I use in my kids show, and I do actually use this, it's also I use this in my adult shows as well, if I'm doing a family show. So if I've got a mixture of adults and children, I'm going to have this in the act. It's great. You have a coat hanger, on it is 4 tied handkerchiefs. I ask someone to name a handkerchief, and as soon as they name that colour, it just unties itself and falls off. And you can do it 4 times. So it's quite a nice, funny little routine. It looks a bit weird. You're not actually touching the silks. You're holding it at the side, and yeah, they undo and fall off. So the next one, I can get 4 kids involved in this without getting them out, or I can get the whole room. So if I'm working to a class or a couple of classes or a birthday party, I can get everyone. Okay, name a colour. Red. That's brilliant. Everyone concentrate on red. I want everyone to imagine in your mind that you're undoing that red handkerchief. Are you ready? Here we go. And then it unties itself and falls off. It looks really magical. It looks amazing, and defies explanation. So yeah, that would be my next choice. Now, moving on from that, again, now I want to get somebody up to help. I want to get some people involved. I would go for some sponge balls. Sponge balls aren't something I have in my main kid show all the time, but they are always in my box, because if I need to fill a couple of seconds, I can get a couple of kids up and I can do a sponge ball routine, and it's brilliant. So that's another thing you can do, nice and easy, a simple little routine. And if you're on Unlimited, you'll be able to check out my sponge ball routine on there. It's very, very simple, very, very easy to do. And that will be on the Unlimited, well, by the time you see this, hopefully, if not, very soon. Now, I'd also buy some rope. Now, again, I haven't got much rope here in the shop, but there is rope around in one of the boxes. I didn't look through all the drawers, so I didn't see it, but most magic shops have rope. I would buy myself some rope, and I would make up. So in this case, I just grabbed this from the other set. This is a Professor's Nightmare. Now, my one that I use in my kids show is a little bit bigger than this, so everyone can see it, but Professor's Nightmare is really easy to make up, really simple to do, and I will be filming a Professor's Nightmare routine to go on Unlimited, so you'll be able to check that out on there as well. Or if you own the Amazing Magic Range Professor's Nightmare trick, it comes with my routine on there. So again, really simple to do, really engaging, very magical, and again, has been in my act for 30 odd years. So Professor's Nightmare. Another thing you could get is buy some handkerchiefs. Again, magic shops always have silk handkerchiefs hanging around, so you could get yourself, so what I would do is I would buy 6 handkerchiefs, 2 green, 2 yellow, 2 red, and then I would have them, one set like this, the other set I would tie together into a knot, and then I'd buy a change bag. Now this is a long handled change bag. The ones I have are normally smaller, and again, you'll always find a change bag around somewhere in the shop, a magic shop. But again, yeah, three handkerchiefs loose, 3 tied up. I can spend, this will give me 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, goes into the bag, they say the magic word, nothing happens, you keep doing it. One of the dads didn't say the magic word, come on, get involved. One of the teachers wasn't joining in, don't be so serious, you get involved, do it, boom, boom. At the end, they all come out tied up. Very simple, but for the kids, very, very visual and very magical. Every time you do it, and with something like this, I'll do it wrong 3 times before it works, or twice wrong, and then the 3rd time it works. And when you bring that out and it's all tied together into a nice long stream, it's a really, really nice, fun effect. So yeah, change bag, some handkerchiefs. Another thing you can do as well, if you just buy, if they're running low on handkerchiefs, or you don't want to buy 6, you can just buy 2. And then you just do a colour changing handkerchief. So I've got my yellow handkerchief. I want to show my trick today, but I can't because it uses a red handkerchief. But I've only got a yellow one. We know it's yellow by the colour. Put it inside, abracadabra. No, it's still yellow. I thought we could do this. And then boom, at the end it turns into a red handkerchief. So again, really simple, 5 minutes worth of fun, which is a big portion of a kid's show. 5 minutes, 6 minutes of fun with just 2 handkerchiefs. Now I want to add something big and flashy. There's 2 things I'm going to show you here. I'm just going to grab this one from up here. Hello, Pete.
Hello.
This is a Run Rabbit Run. Now this is a beautiful kids effect, and one that I used. I have 3 of these at home in different aspects. In fact, I've got one that I can change the pattern on. I can have a Harry Potter one or a Christmas one that I bought a few years back, and it's beautiful. I've got a generic normal one like this with the rabbits, and the idea is that the rabbit runs backwards and forwards and I don't see it. So the kids all know that the rabbit is over this side. They say he's over here, and I say, what, he's over here? And then I move him over there, and I look at him and he's not. You're winding me up now. He's not there. I knew he wasn't there, and then he comes back down to here again, and now I'm over here looking, and again I don't see. He shouldn't be in there. I don't see him. And I can get a good 10-15 minutes out of this with him popping out and peeking out the side. There's loads going on. In the end, he disappears, and before the show, I've put an extra rabbit somewhere in the room, and I find him. These aren't generally too cheap. They're not massively expensive either, but I think this might push us over budget today. But if you've got the budget, this is a great trick to add. As you can see, it's really big, it's really showy, and even like through the whole of the show, I'll have this on display behind me. It's exciting, it looks cartoonish, it appeals to, you know, up to the age of, I'd say, about 7 or 8. So you've got a broad spectrum of children that you could use this with, and it is a great, beautiful little, you know, prop. It's made of solid wood, beautifully handcrafted and made, and it's just a great trick to do. But I think that's going to be out of our budget today. So instead, I'm going to show you this. Now, this is something that I've used in my act, again, almost 35 years. This is a die box. Now, I've got about 8 of these in different iterations. I've got a Man in the Moon, I've got Humpty Dumpty from my Under 5 show. I've got the die box. There's another one that Alakazam sell. Could you just just bring it over here? That's a split die box. Now, in that one, you can actually take the boxes apart and have one box on one side of the room, one box on the other, and the dice still travels from one side to the other. Now, the idea of this is very simple. I'm not going to perform it, but you have a dice in here, and you take the dice out, and you say you're going to make the dice go from one side to the other. And the kids have got to keep that. Now, first thing I'm going to do, check this out, watch this. I'm going to make it appear over this side, okay? So here we go. You ready? 3, 2, oh, what's that over there? Okay, there we go. Now look, he's not over here anymore, and it is over here. That's clever, isn't it? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that I'm obviously like super powered, and I am. But here, oh, there we go. And of course, I pretend like I'm no clue what's going on, and it keeps going backwards and forwards. At the end, the dice disappears from here, and it is completely empty, and it appears back in the wherever you want it to. So I could have it on top of a cabinet, the back of the room, by the birthday cake, wherever I want to put it before the show, I can have it there, and then it appears at that point over there, and that's the end of the show. This is great. This I know the price of this. This is about £40, which is an absolute bargain when you consider I'm going to get probably between 8 and 12 minutes out of this, which is a long time for a kid's trick, but I'm going to wind the kids up. They're going to be screaming at me. This is what happens at the end of every one of my shows. They're going to be screaming at me. They're going to be shouting. They're going to be pointing. I'm completely oblivious to it. I don't seem to hear it or see it or realise that I'm tilting it, and it just winds them up and it really engages them. So I'm going to finish the show on an absolute high. Then the dice disappears. Then it appears, and then everyone's like, oh my God, that was amazing. And it's a great way to finish the show. So I've built up and built up and built up all the way through the show to the very end. Now, if we add all these things together, so this is about £50. This is 40, that's 90. We've got a budget of 150. So we might go over a little tiny bit over budget here, but we can try and keep it under budget if we can. So we've got so 40, I believe these are 30 for the handkerchiefs on the silk. Again, another great trick. So 40, 70, 130. Now, colouring books are generally about £15–20, so that puts us around the 150 mark. I would say that things like handkerchiefs and rope are very, very cheap. So if you can push to those, you know, you're going to have a good couple of filler tricks as well. But you've got a great act there, a good 45 minutes to an hour for a kid's show, straight out of the box, easy to do, easy to perform, and everything's big and flashy and showy. Everything looks great. If I pushed the budget and I said to Pete, I'm going to earn 200 quid today, so I've got 200 to spend, then that's easily within the budget of that. If it's 150, then I'm slightly over budget there, but you know, that's c'est la vie, that's the way it goes. I could do without the silks and the bag and make up the ropes. That would keep us about 150. Yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, it would work. I would just have to milk a couple of the gags a little bit more. But there's loads of business you can do as well. Don't forget that it's not just about, with the kids stuff, it's not just about the tricks, it's about the business as well. And again, on Unlimited, I'm going to be going through a whole bunch of gags, which should be on there very, very soon. That'll be appearing soon, where I go through a whole bunch of gags that you can do, handshaking, leaning on them, over here, all sorts of stuff that really adds time. It might seem like a 20-second gag, but if you can add 5 minutes to your act with 20 of them, you know, A, it gets the kids more engaged, they're loving it because it's funny, it's visual comedy, and it takes the pressure off having to try and milk these too much. To be honest though, with the stuff that I've got here, like the duck, like the die box, like the silks, like the change bag and the colouring book, they don't take much filling. They, you know, they've already got a lot of magic happening, a lot of filling happening. So yeah. So that is my selection of tricks for a children's magic show. Now, if you are interested in learning more about becoming a children's entertainer, learning more about, or you want to add doing children's shows to your repertoire, then make sure you check out Alakazam Unlimited. Every month I'm going to be adding new videos where I'm going to teach you not only how to perform, how to entertain the kids, what tricks to go for, how to utilise the tricks that you might already have, like the sponge balls. I'm also going to be teaching you the business side of things, how to get the gigs, and taking you step by step from absolute novice straight through to becoming a successful children's entertainer. This is going to be starting very, very soon, so make sure you check that out and keep an eye on every single month when I'll be adding something new for you to get you ready to get out there and entertain the wide world of children and schools.